Here is my level so far. Create a little level to show off my new animations and wall walking and my implementation of triggers that activate eat and death animations. One of the animations I couldn't add was the webbing because I didn't know how to plant 3 triggers, click each one to spawn the plane of a fake web. But what I really wanted to do was what they have in Crysis, where I can hit a target, spray a web, and attach it to another target when I hit that one. But that's more engine work that I do not know, and I'm not comfortable in doing. So far, animations that I did change in this level are the jump. So when it actually jumps in place and does a slide back. The attacking, so it's actually looping. So last one, it did not loop properly, and and the heavy attack. It's more vicious and faster, and it leans more into it. So in the game, you can definitely tell it's more of a dangerous attack. But with the setup I've got so far now, so I can make myself walk and use the attacking combos. The body doesn't move, so it allows you to walk, otherwise it was a slide. But that has caused me to lose the detail for animation. I'll find a solution for that. Might be able to say place when the heavy attack happens, the player can't move while that attack is happening, and then reactivate the controls. I'll show you the jump and the punching because this is very short animation, so it will look good. I'll quickly jump to the level to show you what I have done. As you can see, I still got the attack animations, so nothing really has changed with the heavy. The normal one, and the simple attack, it's looping, so no like glitching, and it looks more. For me, it looks a bit more effective. If I had the body moving, you can see it leaning in and doing more damage, and it seems like it'll do more damage. Walk around, it's a bit faster, less sliding. I added some more speed to the character animation and overall speed of the pawn in the world properties. There's a quick wall to demonstrate. I go in and have physics onto the legs, so actually my legs attack and push things around. So if I block dead bodies, I can drag them and move them around. The spider jumps in spot now, so they're sliding. So where he moves and jumps, he lands and doesn't slide back to his original position. So overall it looks more realistic and better. The gravity's not too high, so the jump's not silly, because most spiders wouldn't jump this high anyway. Only a few arachnids actually have the ability to jump. With the wall, due to the orientation of my cat rig, it's not in the right position. It's meant to face the X, but it's actually facing the Z or Y. I can't remember at this moment. I think it's the Y. So we try to change animations, but randomly got bugs where the character grew bigger as animation, or it did not work at all. So overall I have to change, to get this working I have to wipe all my animations and restart from scratch, which I don't mind because animations do need changing. They're not as great as they should be, and there's nothing wrong with making things better. A little simple jump puzzle to show off the jump animations, nothing too hard. Also got a nice falling, so you can see the loop I've got for the falling, where actually the looping seems really good. There's no real problems with that looping. As you can see, there's a little bit of a problem with the jump when it goes from the jump to the idle. There's a bit of a clipping. I have to figure that out. I'll see what's wrong with that and change it to the next process to get further into it. With the physics on the legs, I can actually boot the ball around and destroy walls and push through all the bits and bobs. Or if I don't want to use the ball, I'll play with that for fun and just go ham into that wall like Rambo. Level's simple enough. It just really is here to show off my animations and how the process of making them. And when we come to these blocks, I added the eat trigger, or eat text to the triggers. I had to use active triggers because normal triggers blueprints weren't working. When I went in here, it'll play the animation and then break the rest of it into slide. So you go in here, press E to eat. Animation looks fun. It actually looks like a spider who's going to eat. I would not change these animations at all. Maybe if I wanted to have a longer E or a cinematic, it'll be a bit more graphic and maybe definitely more advanced animation. Here, when you go to that trigger, you fall down. The player can't move. It plays the animation with a second delay to play the whole animation, and then restarts the level. My blueprints for here are the two triggers. They're both exactly the same sort of trigger setup with different text. And the only thing difference is that in these two triggers is when you get to open level blueprint, I have the trigger sourced, and when the player overlaps onto the trigger, it will disable the input, play animation, the delay, and then restart the level. That's the only thing different between those two. With the blueprints create the same setup there, but using the E and thing, so I can use it once and then press E, use it again. Here's also the character pawn to play the animations, so you set true or not. In the character one, this is the setup for the ray trace to detect the rotation of the character in the level to see if it's getting working, but as I've said before, the orientation is incorrect, so it doesn't give you the correct information. Here are the two triggers that I added for physics to the legs, and here are the interactions nodes that I have. I added print springs because when I originally set up the first trigger I made did not work, and so I added these springs just to check everything was okay. I had little names on them, which in the end it did. I had help from my tutor to get the first trigger set up, but from running from his blueprint, I created my own one and added then the extra death bit through the world blueprints. Animations are solid, Spire character's good. Added destructible walls, so it's more fun when character breaks through. In some of the comments I had with my level, they said the walk cycle's very amateur. Not in those words, but in those terms it was. In the future I would add more animation loop cycles, so 3 or 4, so that Spider's not always like do the same 6 or 10 animation or 10 keyframes I've got for it, and it has more variety. The attack I would take off the input of walking, so it actually plays the attack animation. Everything else seems okay for so far, but everything can be improved and will be improved. This is the first step, so the next process I'll be doing after the deadline would be restarting all the animations again, making sure the wall walks perfectly, and I'll create a fun little level design, so it's not just the basic boring thing just like tech to show off. It's actually fun and it's amusing to play. Overall, I've learned a lot. I chose a spider, an animal, because of each leg has its own sort of animation. Each leg has its own character, really. How each leg moves differently, different times, and that was the biggest challenge so far when doing this. And it's probably the hardest thing I've ever done so far with figure animation, because I've been mainly just focusing on people. Characters it's a new set of skills which I'm happy to say that I've got the fundamentals of. A lot more needs to be done to make sure it's more realistic and make it feels like actually real Spider. Also with the engine work, I had a lot of help from friends who do Unreal Engines, who help me with this. For stuff I really want to do with the game, I'm going to have to do a lot of forum posts and understanding the in-depth of the engine to get what I really want. These are the things I'll change in the future and adapt into my level. So after this, the next update should be everything that I've mentioned is correct, apart from the engine, because that's going to be a bit longer. But there are forums and books to read and YouTube tutorials from professionals and amateurs who have problems the same as me and have done things to make the level better, which I can use and adapt to suit my game.